Oh my word. So we're going to get started here, finally. Hopefully you all are having a great weekend. Bitcoin is deciding to get a little bit of a bounce. I still think that this could be a dead cat bounce, but we'll see what happens. I already have a comment from Will, so thank you for that. We will look at ABT because I did look at that last time and it looked good to me. So let's go look at ABT. First of all, I want to look at the Fear and Greed Index. I also would like to get some music going here, so let me do that really quick. It's going to be a pretty quick stream. My Monday stream will be longer, but I just want to do a little bit of an update on the market and go from there. So let me get the camera flipped, and we can look at... I appreciate all the support on TikTok, because I know I'm shadow banned there. Let's look at the Fear and Greed Index. So I believe last time we were here, it looked like we were at 65. Now we're in the green at 67. So really nothing has changed. I would like to see this come down for a healthier correction, but we'll see... what happens. I did get out of my short on BCH because we got a nice bounce off that. I told the trading group that as well, I believe. So that is what I'm looking at. And now, if anything, I would be in a long on BCH right now because you're above the 200-day moving average, which I really like to see. But let's go look at Bitcoin, because I did tell my group I believe that Bitcoin is about to put a lower high in on the 12-hour time frame. You are overbought, making a lower high. So to me, this falling wedge could still be in play, but right now that's another lower high. And as far as I'm concerned, unless you break 65,500, this is a rejection off of that point. And now we could expect a lower low, and if we make another lower low, that would be losing the pattern on the 12-hour chart for the falling wedge on Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens. I will be looking at altcoins. I just want to do a quick update on Bitcoin. The daily chart, though, has gas, and this could give altcoins a chance to go up if the daily chart can take over. But the 12-hour does not look good to me. So shorter term, I'm expecting downside at least until Monday or Tuesday, and then maybe after that, if we put a higher low in on the 12-hour, that would be a good sign. The 3-day also has a lot of gas. Weekly is now completely oversold, so that's a really good sign. But yeah, that's really what I'd be looking at as a 12-hour chart, because if the 12-hour chart makes another lower low, we could be looking at around that $56,000 level if that happens. So someone did request ABT. Let's go look at that. It looked really good last time we looked at that, so we will look at that again. ABT, USDT. Actually, this is just on Coinbase. I will just look at the Coinbase version of this. Thank you for the likes as well. I just want to make sure that we are live on... yeah, there's people watching. All right, so ABT right now on the 3-day time frame. I'm just going to do a quick recording this so that I have this for my records, and then we'll get started on the video. All right, so let's look at ABT. This is on Coinbase. I believe this is also MXC, but the last time we looked at this, here, I'm going to start on the weekly time frame. So the weekly time frame is oversold, trying to get the bounce. The fact that this is pretty bullish to me. Let me zoom in a little bit to the fact that we're getting a higher high put in while the weekly is oversold. So that's a really good sign. The 3-day chart is just getting started. This probably is about to blast. I might add this to my portfolio this week. Like, I might buy some of this later this week. The 2-day looks like it still has gas. You're making new all-time highs, and that's a good sign. And the daily is over. Wow. And it also hit our target. I looked at this a few days ago, or maybe it was a week ago. The target was $3.44. We already hit that. We went as high as $3.82. But the daily's overbought now, so be cautious on that. Let's go down to the 12-hour time frame and kind of see if we can see a flag forming on the smaller time frames. The 12-hour chart, again, is overbought. If we look at the 8-hour, that's overbought coming down. The 6-hour, same thing. But the 4-hour chart is oversold. That's kind of a little bit of a rounded top vibes, but at so the rounded top would be the bear scenario. The bullish scenario is that you're making a bull pennant here, and your measure move is the last local low. And your measure move to the upside would be around that $5 level, so we'll see if that can play out in the next coming days. But I would pretty much say now let's go. If this keeps going to the downside, if we don't get the bounce like right now, and if we lose $3.30, it's likely that this is going to continue to roll over, and this is a definitely rounded top on the smaller time frames. But for right now, as far as I'm concerned, this can still be a bull pennant if you hold this last local low and if you don't lose $3.30. If you lose $3.30, it's actually likely, if I go back to the 4-hour chart, it's likely that you go back down to that $2 level, or minimum, you go back down to $2.70 where you had 2 rejections off of. So that's what I'm looking at on ABT. Thank you for the request. It does look bullish to me if you hold 230 or 330. If you don't hold $3.30, it's likely we go back to the downside. Thank you for the request. So that's what I'm looking at on ABT. And Bitcoin, like I said, if Bitcoin, well, I can go recap it really quickly. If Bitcoin right now, this is the 12-hour chart, that's a lower high. I don't like that. You are holding 200-day moving average on the 12-hour. What I do like on the higher time frames is like maybe the 12-hour takes you back down from a new low at 56,000, but then maybe the daily, the 2-day, and the 3-day take over, and you get a higher high, and you get a move out. As far as I'm concerned, this falling wedge on Bitcoin is still valid. If you can put a higher low in here above 57,000. If you can't do that, that's really bad. So if Bitcoin loses 57,000, it's likely that obviously you make a new low and then you're in a massive downtrend, and then you would have lost a falling wedge, which that would be a really bad thing. I'll just say this, most time in May, it's a good thing to sell and walk away. Sell in May and walk away. If you do that most of the time, it will be profitable for you, and not always, but most of the time. Hell, most of the time, if you sell a week or two before May, you'll be doing pretty good. So we'll see what happens. But right now, Bitcoin is struggling on the smaller time frames. The daily, 2-day, and 3-day still look bullish to me, and the weekly looks great to me. So you know, I think we're about to reverse here on the higher time frames, but smaller time frames have not confirmed a low in yet. So I'm kind of looking for a lower low on Bitcoin, unless somehow when you get a correction to the downside on the RSI that you make a higher low. We'll see what happens, but if you lose 57,000, the next step I really see, at least on the higher time frames, is 49,200, and below that 47K. So that's, appreciate the follow, Boss Fallen. Bullish. I am bearish right now short term on altcoins. I'm bullish probably for the rest. Like after May, especially after May, I believe crypto will get a balance. We'll see, but maybe there's going to be a summer lull in Bitcoin. I do kind of want to look at Dogecoin. I'm going to start looking at Dogecoin more. I want to add this to my watch list, because I guess there's a lot of hype around Dogecoin. So I do want to start making videos on Dogecoin. Testing. We also live on YouTube if you want to go check that out as well. It does help, so appreciate it. Let's look at Dogecoin. I'm going to start looking at Dogecoin religiously, I think, because I guess there's a lot of hype around it. So this is kind of where I see Dogecoin right now. This was a falling wedge that I had. It's kind of an ugly falling wedge. I don't even know if that's a fall. It broke out to the upside nonetheless. It's a really ugly falling wedge. Is this Dogecoin? This chart looks horrible. Okay, so your measure move on Dogecoin, you've already hit your measure move. That measure move was 18 cents. You got above it up to that resistance at 23 cents practically, and now you're trying to hold support at 12 cents. The 3-day chart is in an uptrend, getting the balance on the R side. The 2-day, same thing. And even the daily is looking pretty nice to me on the smaller time frames. I also see this as a falling wedge that is in the process of breaking back to the upside on Dogecoin. So your measure move would be from the high to the last local low, and we'll see if we can get the move to the upside. The measure move on this would take you above resistance up to about 25 cents. So we'll see if we can get that move on Dogecoin to the upside. It does look like, based on the daily, on the 2-day, and on the 3-day, that can happen. Now let me go down to the 4-hour time frame to kind of see what's going on. I don't like this. The 4-hour chart is making a lower high, getting rejected off that 200-day moving average. So you really have to take out this high at 17 cents. If you can't do that, look for a possible retest of 12 cents for a double bottom or a slightly higher low. That's what I'm looking at. Short-term Dogecoin looks bearish unless you break 17 cents. That's all I got. If you guys enjoyed this, appreciate it if you hit the like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and I'll be posting more Dogecoin videos every single day. That's the goal. I'll see you guys in the next update. Do I think Elon is going to pump again? I haven't looked at that coin in a long time. Elon 1, you mean? No. If that's what you're talking about, then no. Thank you for the follow, Mo. What is SGB? I've never heard of that. SGB. SGB, I don't know what that is. There's not really anything to look at on that. So, anyways, we just see if anyone has requested anything on YouTube, and I don't see any requests on YouTube, so we will move on. 75 cents this run. I mean, if Bitcoin makes another new all-time high, then yes, Dogecoin probably will. But it's also an inflationary coin. I said that last bull run, I didn't think it was going to go to $1, or 70 cents, I should say, and it went way higher than I thought. So, I don't think 80 cents to $1 is out of the question whatsoever this run. But we'll see. I'd be fine if it goes back to the all-time high and then gets a rejection. But I don't really care what happens with Dogecoin, but I'll cover it because I guess a lot of people are interested in it, and we'll see what happens. Hard. Well, I looked at SGB. I don't see it on my chart. SGB is on TradingView. I see it on Bitfinex. I see it on Kraken. I don't know, man. There's no, I don't know. I've never heard of it, honestly, low-key. I've never heard of it. That's a falling wedge, so it looks bullish to me. But, unfortunately, I don't know a lot about it, so. I got about 10 more minutes for this, and then I do have to skedaddle. I got a little bit of a road trip ahead of me tonight. So, I mean, technically, that's a falling wedge on the 3-day time frame for Songbird. The measure move is that 2-0 level, so that's just about a double up from here. But that's kind of what I'm looking at right now on Songbird. I've never heard of Songbird, no. Let me look at the daily really quick. The daily, you know, daily looks good to me. The weekly looks really good to me. This could actually pump here, but I don't think it's really available to get on many exchanges. Like, it's not on the main ones. It's not on MEXC, I don't think, is it? Let me just look. Oh, it is on MEXC. I guess you could buy this on MEXC, so that's where I would personally buy it, but I'm not touching this. It looks bullish to me, but there's just, I don't know. It could happen. A quick double up could happen. I shouldn't say quick because it is on the 3-day time frame, so technically that's probably gonna, that measure move that I just showed you would probably take several months to play out. Bonk probably has more X's possible than Doge, that's for sure, because it's a way smaller market cap. XLM hasn't done a lot recently, but we can definitely go look at XLM. I feel like it's just kind of almost as bad of a coin as XRP. Really, it's pretty simple here. I'll start on the 3-day. The 3-day time frame is oversold. You're trying to get the bounce, but struggling. The weekly, same thing. The 2-day looks bad. The day, I don't know, man. I don't love it. The 12 hours overbought, making a lower high. And it's likely that this comes back down for a double bottom or a lower high, back down to that 10-cent level. But I mean, if you lose 10 cents, it's likely, or if you make a lower low, then it's likely that 7 cents is the next stop. That's also like around the top here locally on the daily for XLM. So it's likely, in my opinion, that you make a lower low below 9 cents unless Bitcoin gets a massive spike here back to the upside and back to all-time high. So XLM likely to go back possibly as low as 7 cents. And that would be the lowest it's been since like June of last year, a year ago. So really, XLM has done almost nothing in the last year. That's not a good sign. I held this last bull run. It was fun and all. I made a 10x on it. But this bull run, I'm not sure if that's going to happen based on how boring. I don't know. It could happen. But we'll see what happens. I believe last bull run I was buying this below 9 cents. So we'll see what happens. But I don't love XLM right now, low-key. It looks bad. XRP is a stable coin. XLM feels almost like a stable coin. Yes, you had this little bit of a move up, but you know, if you just look a year ago today, you're basically at the same price. So, you know, it basically is a stable coin. I will agree with that. So, yeah, that's kind of what I got for you guys today. So, thank you guys for the 500 likes. I do appreciate it. I'll be back live. What did I say? Saturday. I'll be back live Monday, 11 p.m. Central Time. But yeah, just for a recap on Bitcoin, if Bitcoin does not reclaim the weekly resistance at 65,500, I'm looking for lower lows on Bitcoin, you know, down to 56,000. And then if you don't hold that, 49.2 is the next support for Bitcoin. I do think Bitcoin will, you know, 50,000 will be psychological support as well, but that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. I would agree. Old coins have probably lost traction. That's probably true to some extent as well. I'm hoping that's not the case for Atom because I do hold some of that. But I was going to buy more of it, but I probably won't now because I just found out recently that Atom has an unlimited supply, which doesn't sit right with me. So I'm probably going to have a small bag of that and then just do it in other altcoins. They're probably newer because those are the ones that are really going to take off this bull run. But with that being said, guys, thanks guys for joining. I'll be back live in 2 days, Monday, 11 p.m. Central Time. Until then, trade safe. Have a great day. I'll be posting those videos on my YouTube channel with about Dogecoin and then the other altcoin we looked at right after this stream. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to end the stream on YouTube. And then I'm going to